Hello again, everyone. This is Damien from the languagecaster.com team, and we hope you're all well and staying safe. This, of course, is the podcast for all fans of football who want to improve their English skills, learning English through football. Now, on last week's Football Language podcast, we looked at some of the good and the bad and the ugly from the first week of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. And we looked at phrases such as to top the group, to advance, and coming from behind. On this week's podcast, we again look at some of the good and the bad, but this time from last week's AFCON, week 2. Don't forget that there is also a transcript with this listening report, which you can use to help with teaching or learning English.
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
Right, let's have a look at some of the good and the bad from the second week of the AFCON tournament. The good. Well, we mentioned the Comoros in last week's podcast after an outstanding goalkeeping performance in their defeat to Tunisia. But this week we have to offer huge congratulations to the team placed 132nd in FIFA's rankings after their amazing 3-2 win over Ghana that sent them through to the last 16. Ghana had their captain Andre Ayew sent off in the first half and Comoros went 2-0 up, but when the Black Stars equalised in the 75th minute, it looked as if they would go on to win the game. But remarkably, the Comoros striker Ahmed Mogni scored the winner late in this game. Now this goal meant that the Comoros qualified as one of the best third-place teams, where they will face host Cameroon in the knockout stages, while Ghana's elimination from the tournament also saw their coach sacked. The other surprise team at AFCON 2021 has also been another debutant, Gambia. They opened their tournament with a win over lowly Mauritania, but then drew with Mali and beat Tunisia to finish second on goal difference behind Mali. They will fancy their chances against Guinea in their last 16 match, but either way, it's been a good tournament so far for the Gambia. The bad, well, in addition to the shock of four-time winners Ghana being dumped out of the tournament, the holders Algeria were beaten 3-1 by the Ivory Coast to finish bottom of their group and also go out of the tournament. The Algerian side came into AFCON 2021 as one of the favourites and also on an unbeaten run of 34 matches, but they only managed 1 point, a scoreless draw with lowly Sierra Leone from their 3 matches. A pretty bad couple of weeks for Algeria.
Unasikiza languagecaster.com.
Yep, you are listening to languagecaster.com. That message was in Swahili. And as we said last week, we'd love to hear from any other fans of football in Africa who might like to share the message. You are listening to languagecaster.com in their or indeed any other language. Okay, that's it for this short podcast in which we have looked back at some of the highs and lows from the second week of the AFCON tournament. And we'll be looking at some more words used to describe some of the matches in this competition over the next couple of weeks, the knockout stages. Don't forget that there's a transcript to this podcast and lots of vocabulary support, which you can access by coming along to our site here at languagecaster.com. We also have a football language forum where fans of the beautiful game can ask and answer questions on all kinds of football language. Come along,